October Revolution of 1917, also known as the Bolshevik Revolution, was a monumental event that forever altered the course of Russian and global history. To understand its significance, we must explore the context leading up to this pivotal moment, the revolution itself, and its profound aftermath. In the early 20th century, Russia was a nation in crisis. The country faced severe social, economic, and political turmoil. Under the autocratic rule of Tsar Nicholas II, there was widespread discontent among the Russian populace. The Tsar's regime was characterized by its inefficiency and detachment from the needs of its people. The economic hardships, exacerbated by World War I, further fueled the growing dissatisfaction. The strains of World War I had a catastrophic impact on Russia. The war effort drained the nation's resources, leading to severe shortages of food and fuel. The Russian military suffered staggering casualties, and the economy was in a state of disarray. The Provisional Government, which came into power following the February Revolution of 1917, struggled to address these critical issues. Despite its attempts to stabilize the country, the Provisional Government failed to implement effective reforms or end Russia's involvement in the war. This failure deepened the public's frustration and disillusionment. Amidst this backdrop of crisis, the Bolsheviks, a faction of the Russian Social Democratic Labour Party led by Vladimir Lenin, emerged as a powerful political force. The Bolsheviks capitalized on the widespread dissatisfaction with the Provisional Government. They promised peace, land, and bread, addressing the key concerns of the war-weary soldiers, impoverished workers, and land-hungry peasants. This promise resonated deeply with the masses and gained the Bolsheviks substantial support. On the night of October 25, 1917, according to the Julian calendar, or November 7 in the Gregorian calendar, the Bolsheviks launched a decisive and well-coordinated coup against the Provisional Government. The revolution began with an armed insurrection led by the Red Guards, the Bolshevik military force. Their operation quickly spread throughout Petrograd, now known as St. Petersburg, targeting key locations and government institutions. The Winter Palace, the seat of the Provisional Government, was stormed with relatively little resistance. The Bolsheviks' control over crucial government institutions was rapidly established. Alexander Kerensky, the head of the Provisional Government, fled the palace as the Bolsheviks consolidated their power. By the end of the night, the Bolsheviks had effectively taken control of the Russian government, with Lenin emerging as the head of the new Soviet government. The immediate consequences of the October Revolution were profound. One of the first major actions of the new Bolshevik government was to negotiate Russia's exit from World War I. This resulted in the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, signed in March 1918, which ended Russia's participation in the conflict but ceded significant territories to the Central Powers. The new government faced immediate challenges, including the outbreak of a civil war between the Red Army, composed of Bolshevik supporters, and the White Army, made up of various anti-Bolshevik forces. This civil war was a brutal and bloody conflict, marked by severe fighting and widespread suffering. Despite the challenges, the Bolsheviks emerged victorious in the civil war, thanks in part to their better organization, strong leadership, and control over major industrial centers and transportation routes. The victory allowed the Bolsheviks to consolidate their power and lay the foundation for the formation of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR, officially established in December 1922. The October Revolution had significant global ramifications. It inspired communist and socialist movements worldwide and influenced international relations for decades to come. The ideological struggle between communism and capitalism, which emerged from the revolution, became a defining feature of 20th-century geopolitics, particularly during the Cold War era. Domestically, the October Revolution led to radical transformations in Russian society. The Bolsheviks implemented extensive reforms, including land redistribution, nationalization of industry, and social reforms aimed at promoting gender equality and expanding education. These changes were integral to their vision of creating a socialist state and addressing the grievances of the Russian people. In conclusion, the October Revolution was not merely a political upheaval but a transformative event that reshaped Russia and had lasting effects on global politics. It marked the end of the Romanov dynasty, the overthrow of the Provisional Government, and the establishment of the Soviet Union. The revolution's impact resonated far beyond Russia's borders, influencing international relations and ideological debates throughout the 20th century. The October Revolution remains a critical subject of historical interest, reflecting the complexities of revolution and the quest for political change.